All right. Anyway, wrapping up the morning session here with the 2013 Indianapolis 500 champion and former IndyCar Series champion as well, Tony Kanaan with Arrow McLaren. This is going to take the papaya is going to take a while.
I have to say, I'm starting getting like concerned because everybody that I met today said the same. Graham saw me, Elio saw me, Dixon. They're like, you look so weird. I'm like, what do you mean I look weird? I look good. Anyway.
Well, it's just good to see you back.
Thank you.
You said you were 50 today, by the way.
I did not say 50.
Yes, you did.
We'll go back and review the tape. It's only because I love you. That's why. Just your thoughts about another.
No, but let me get there.
50 is the new 30, I think, but that's just me. Great to see you back.
Thank you.
And I know you can't wait for the month of May and get back to another Indy 500. So
no, 100%. Obviously, a great opportunity. This came up, after such a great run last year. So I'm excited. It's been a long winter until we got here. Obviously, doing one race only, you see people, when Rossi signed and was in the shop, and I was in the shop a few times, and I'm like, where's my car? And there was no car yet because obviously there are priorities there until we get there. So, I'm really excited, and hopefully we have as good as a run as we did last year.
Obviously, you live in Indianapolis. How often do you get to the shop and get integrated with the team?
I actually been in the shop quite a bit. Obviously, there's a lot of familiar faces there. When you're in the series for 26 years, it's almost like you work with everybody from people shuffle around, so I was there, at least I would say the past 2 months, once a week, bothering people, talking about my sit fit, which, they're like, dude, you're only here in May to drive. So what do you want? So, but we had a bunch of engineer meetings trying to help with all of my experience as well. Once, like Rossi came in and he brings something, I came in, I bring something. So it's always like we're trying to make this team, what Zach asked me to do when he hired me. So
what did Zach ask you to do?
To win the 500.
Yeah.
Very simple.
That's the goal. Questions for Tony Kanaan, but we're going with David Moll.
All right. We already know Larson is going to be in the car in 2024. Are you looking to basically use this 500 to advertise you're still talented at the 500 to all other teams? Or are you hoping that you'll be so successful that they want to add a fifth car in 2024?
So that's a good question because if Dixon makes fun of me until this day. It's the last lap. It's the very last lap, what it is. And so the answer honestly will be, I think I will definitely make a decision, which is not just all up to me. I mean, it's up to me if I say this is it, right? But if not, I think I'll make that decision when we cross the start finish line on that Sunday. You know what I mean?
Really?
And then when I win, if I win, I'll put everybody on the spot and I say, I'm coming back. It's exactly what happened last year. But right now, I think the focus is, this 500. And I don't know if it wasn't a mistake, but we announced something 2 years ago and then a great opportunity came with Jimmy. So I'm not going to put it out there. This is what I'm doing. It's just let it be.
I assume you now have very high standards because in terms of what you will say yes to and what you will say no to, because Ganassi for all those years and now Arrow McLaren.
Let me put it this way. You're totally right. And in no disrespect for any teams, because I think we have a pretty good group of teams that can win the 500. But at this point, if I don't think it's the right opportunity for me, then I wouldn't do it. I don't want to be at the 500 just to participate. And that was actually, even last year, that was part of my decision when I said, I want to come back, this year. So, yeah, I mean, winning it's all. I mean, I don't think I would rather see a young gun coming and taking place for his first Indy 500 than me just participating just to add at a car.
And considering how close you got last year, is that actually making like the kind of narcotic hold on you even worse?
Yeah, it always. I mean, racing is so you're as good as your last result, and then it's when you start coming up to my age, which is 48, by the way, Dave. People ask you that question. People doubt you. People say, maybe is it time? All those questions, and the only way to reassure even yourself, because I'm not going to sit here and lie that you don't question yourself. Is it time, or am I still up to? And then you have a result like we did last year. It's like, well, you know what? Come on, I know I can do it, right? So that weighs a lot also in a lot of my decisions going forward, right? So, and I know, anything can happen in the 500, but as long as I have it in my head that I am competitive, it doesn't matter that if I finish third or I could add one, but if I think I still have the possibility to win, I'll keep trying. But also, I need other people to see that, sponsors, and it's not the point. Let's face it, I'm not going to get a ride if that is one seat, that it was going to be a one-off. I'm not coming back to do a full season ever again anyway.
Nate Ryan.
David asked a lot of mine, TK, but I'll start with, I'm a little self-conscious of this. Are you just streaming?
I'm streaming,
okay.
so I can show you guys.
Okay, all right.
Why are you self-conscious?
Well, because it's pointing at me.
Oh,
so
sorry.
like,
No.
I'm not on camera here, right? No, it's fine. It's fine. You should put it back.
I didn't want people see my big nose on the profile, but
like I said, David asked a lot of mine, so I'll just ask you. You're very media savvy, and IndyCar is going to have finally this reality show this year, and I presume you're kind of enthused about that, maybe part of it. But I think one of the struggles that I've seen over the years is that, I think drivers kind of have a hard time being honest sometimes. And I think the appeal of like this type of reality show is you want, they say hate sells, you want guys to kind of butt heads. Do you think that's the challenge? And do you think IndyCar drivers will kind of embrace this in a way that, like, you guys have always been so friendly to each other, but that's almost not probably what the vice people want, right?
I mean, I saw Jenna's tweet the other day saying the same thing. And I believe that in an ideal world, yes. Obviously, yes, I'm in it, to answer your question. And one of the things, but because I'm in a different position, I think I said from the get-go that Tony Kanaan is going to be Tony Kanaan. I'm not going to sit here, and I understand there are things that, but the world nowadays, it's so like, you got to be so careful what you say, what you do, what people are judging you. Social media just hammers you like all the time. But yeah, to be a good one, I think we're going to have to just be honest. And then I think, we've seen other examples of other reality shows that, you can still show controversy. You can still show that we not all love each other. I mean, some guys out there, we definitely don't like each other. And it's fine. It doesn't mean that, So yes, to answer your question, I think I am, at least. You'll see not that I'm much different. You know me for so long, but yes, especially when you're in your environment, in your home, and, having a tough discussion with your family, or even who's your biggest rival and why, like everybody knows the story between Elio and I. I mean, we've been going on since 88, and we didn't speak for 4 years. That wasn't a secret. We kept it honest, and we actually did not like each other then, so yes, so it will be really important but I think also it's on the producers, it's on the series as well, to put the pressure, saying, guys, that this is not a movie. This is a reality show. So be real.
Do the sponsors play a role in that too, TK? And that
they all do.
Okay.
I mean, you all have responsibilities. Also saying, we're all representing somebody, a brand, a team, big sponsor. So I think we all going to have, I had that conversation the other day I have a esports team, and I have 10, 16-year-old kids, and we're trying to train these people as far as media training, what's right, what's wrong. And I remember that I back in the day, we used to do every 3 months, your sponsor would pay for you to do media training, to know what to say, the right time. And nowadays, even like it's so instant that you can regret something that, and I believe that that's something that, we should be incorporating more, but preparing those people. But yes, so I mean, our team has a pretty good team. I mean, since I've joined McLaren, I mean, we've had people instructing you what to say, what not to say, the right way, not being yourself, but there are many ways you can put at it. So yeah, I mean, but the sponsors and teams and the series, they're definitely going to wait on it for sure.
Allison.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
A little bit of a detour. Motorsport is on a short list of new sports that might be added to the LA Olympics in 2028, likely e-karting. Can you talk about what that might mean to young racers in Brazil?
I mean, that's pretty cool if that happens. I think racing in Brazil is huge. I mean, we talk about soccer and racing. That's, it's been like that. Obviously, we have been introducing other sports, but it was very popular because of the history that we have. We've been so successful in the sport. So I think it would just draw more kids trying to, to start racing. And I think the biggest message to send nowadays is, everybody has this impression that it's a very expensive sport, and so nobody can, if you don't have money, you can't start. And I'm the living proof that I know, times have changed and this and that, but it still can happen. So if that happens, it would be really cool. I too bad that I'm not young enough to do that, but it'll be, I think you'll be showing that, racing, it's a real sport, and what some people didn't consider that back in the day. So
Would you consider being part of a program that trains young racers who might want to take that as an option?
100%. I think I've been doing that and advising kids on my free time, not for profit or anything, just because you want to give it back to the sport. So yeah, 100%. I've always been labeled like I was the oldest. You need to help your teammates here when they come, but that's something that I would definitely enjoy for sure.
We have time for two more in person here. Go ahead.
I've been talking too much or something.
Tony, could you say a word about the significance of the IndyCar Series coming here to Palm Springs and the Thermal Club?
I mean, if you think about, I haven't seen the facility. I've only seen pictures, but when it's a private facility, that it's a very tight and close club from people that don't want anybody else to get in, and they invite us in, it says a lot. So I think it's huge. Like I said, I'm going to go to the track today to check it out, but might be a start of something. I think it'll be cool to have it. But yeah, it's a very positive.
Tony, last year being the first time that you've just done the 500 in terms of IndyCar, doing that again this year, I know you don't want to win this race anymore or any less. You've been passionate about that for your whole career. But when you're talking about deciding what you're going to do next year in terms of running or not running the 500, do you feel any more pressure to perform and to produce a specific results when you're when everything is depending on how 3 hours on a racetrack go over the span of 365 days?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, obviously, it could be very disappointing when you just say, I only have this race, and if it goes wrong, that's it, you're done. But no, my mindset is I'm there to win, and that's all it is. I have a car to do it. With a team that was very close to do it last year, and I know what I'm capable of. So if it doesn't go right, we're going to have to evaluate what happened. But that doesn't add more pressure. I think at this point, I know it won't make a difference for what I'm going to do as far as my IndyCar career. I mean, yes, I can extend it for another, like I just said it, I don't see myself doing a full season ever again. So it'll be good to win a second one and just say, you know what, drop the mic and say, that's it. Or it'll be good to win a second one and say, I want to come back. But no, the pressure has always been on. I mean, this is going to be my 25th one, and I only won one. So all the other 24, it was a lot of pressure.
I asked Elio the same question this morning, topically off of Tom Brady retiring again, theoretically from the NFL. When you're someone who's closer to the end of your career than the start of it, would you theoretically one day want to go out feeling like you made the decision to step away, or go until someone, is no longer offering you a ride?
I always said, you wanted to retire. You don't want somebody to retire you. But, after 25 years in the series, I don't think I have the rights to be upset if I don't find a ride, if I want to race next year. It's been a great ride. And it, honestly, it's the hard, you see it in every sport. How many times top guys retire and came back, because you don't know how to let it go. And then you have examples like me and Alio, we're like 48, and then Dixon, it's up in his 40s and he's still doing well. We're like, I want to come back. I know I can do this. But I'm really, really in peace. I was in peace with myself 3 years ago when I made that decision. So now I'm just riding it because, hey, I'm a race car driver. You're going to give me a race car to drive? I'm jumping in. But no, it won't. I won't be sad if this will be my last one.
We'll wrap it up with Bruce.
TK, good to see you again. As far though as what Errol McLaren has done since coming to IndyCar, it's been quite impressive. Are we on the verge of really seeing the McLaren influence really raise the level of competition in IndyCar?
Yeah, I mean, think about, we hire so far 40 more employees since we went from 3 cars in Indy, but to 4, 2 full-times to 3 full-time. I mean, I think Zach has a vision, it's very aggressive, and he wants to grow the team, and he wants to win. That's all he cares. He's a racer, and like a lot of the team owners in this series. So yeah, I mean, we haven't grown fast, and it's going to be up to us to make sure that we keep up the expectations that he's putting on us.
And by bringing you on board, Zach has the finishers from positions 2 through 5 of last year's Indianapolis 500. So in a lot of ways, I think it's a great situation to be in based off last year's race.
Yeah, I think if you take the example with Chip last year, he put all his cars in the top 12, and then he put himself in a position that he was going to be covered to win the Indy 500 if something happened to one of his cars. And look what happened. We had 5 cars, and we made it happen. I mean, 2 of them had an issue, but the other 2 covered the bases. So yeah, I like our chances a lot.
We'll keep you on schedule. Thanks so much for coming here today and talking to us.
You're welcome.